So the other day, I randomly saw, I think it was on Instagram, that Prinsu had some new handles available. And unfortunately, I'm a sucker for yellow. I love black and gold. I'm a diehard Steelers fan. So why wouldn't I buy these? These are going to attach onto the Prinsu roof rack. I absolutely love this rack. It was the first mod I bought for the truck. So it's 20 after 5. It's starting to get pretty cold. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. There's the handles themselves. The symbols are the plates to cover up where the lights will future go. And then your screws and nuts. So I'm going to attach the logo plate to the actual handle. You need a T20, Torx 20, and an 11/32. I don't know where the video that cut out because the battery died, but there, the bracket is going to sit like this. Symbol, the logo is in properly. This is for where a light could go in the future. I don't have any light controls set up yet, so I just went for the regular plate for now. Changing the battery, my hands had a chance to warm up. So these are so new, they don't have instructions yet in the package or online. So silly me, I believe these are supposed to connect in through the original rack bolts. So it is a T30. So T30, so Torx T30 bit. So I'm just going to loosen these up and then work on putting them in. So manual was taking too long. Let's see if this works. So I went over to the other side, loosened up the other side, and will now try to place these loosely. This would have been better with a second set of hands, but right now I don't have a second set. So my game plan is fit this in loosely on both sides, and then I can slide this to fit the way I want it to. So based on when I loosened up the opposite side a few minutes ago, the bars then landed on the roof. So I'm going to put a nice soft towel underneath them. And actually, I chickened out in the beginning and did not install the Prinsu Rack myself. So I'm going to take the opportunity. The person who installed it didn't leave the T openings here. So see how the channel is the same all the way down. So there's nowhere to slip in a bolt. So I'm going to take the opportunity to flip these over. So I have now flipped over the two bars. See the difference here? There's nowhere to put in your bolts or your T-nuts, whereas here there's the two openings. So unfortunately, the person I paid to put this in, because I was so scared of drilling or cutting into the roof, etc. I've said that wrong. What I meant was cutting through the gunnel and resealing, so I paid someone to do that, but they didn't install this properly. So now I've taken the time to turn this over, and then that'll be two less I have to do in the future. So the sun is setting. It's starting to get really cold. It's below zero now. As you can imagine, holding cold tools and cold parts, especially steel, is no fun. Trying to be ever so gently. Again, it would be better with two hands, but two sets of hands, I guess, as the saying goes. So when I put the two in there, at least that keeps it off the truck from rubbing while I get the other bracket. So I'm just going to go over to the other side and put the other two bolts in. Then I'll come back over here and start trying to line it up and tighten it. So I originally had put the nut or the bolt into the wrong hole in the crosser, so I've now fixed that. I can tighten those up later. So because these were not cheap, I only bought one pair, and they were so new there weren't many pictures, etc. online. So I bought one pair, and I'm going to line them up centered on the door, not on the rack. We'll see how that looks. So actually, that's as far forward as it goes, because that's the gunnel stops there. So I'll just run over and push the other one as well. So in that case, it's really easy to line them up because they're just pushed all the way forward. Okay, so setting up the tighten these bolts on this side now. Just double check it's pushed forward. I've engaged the clutch because I don't want to go too tight. I'll tighten them by hand now. There, that's that side complete. Get the children's blanket out. And there you have it. We now have the Prinsu Rack handles, I think they're called Ridgeline handles, are now installed.